Alright, let's talk about it. Why is Peter Dutton running scared? Why isn't he on a plane to Washington right now, shaking hands with Donald Trump, forming the kind of government that would make Australia great again? Instead, we've got this timid, watered-down Liberal Party acting like they are terrified of Trump's shadow. And Labour? Well, Anthony Albanese is busy playing student politics while pretending to be a global statesman. It's embarrassing, mate. Before we get into the juicy details, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, do you reckon Dutton has the guts to embrace the Trump philosophy? And if you're sick of the nonsense, check out our Albo Says Relax t-shirt, only $23 for the next 2 days. Links in the description. Right, let's rip in. So, Rowan Dean from Sky News has made it crystal clear, Dutton needs to stop dodging the Trump playbook. The blueprint for success is sitting right in front of him, yet the Liberals act like they are too scared to touch it. Instead, we get this nonsense about stability and moderation. Nah, mate, people don't want moderation, they want action. Just look at the Western Australian state election results. There's a shift happening, and if the Libs had any clue, they'd realise this is their chance. But what do we get? A party too afraid to call out the failures of the Albanese government, too scared to align themselves with Trump's winning strategy, and too timid to take a stand on policies that actually work. Let's be honest, Trump is going to win. The way Biden's going, he'd be lucky to remember what day it is, let alone survive another campaign. And when Trump takes the White House, Australia will need to be on his good side. That means Dutton should be on the phone with Trump right now, not sitting back hoping things will magically fall into place. But instead, we've got Kevin Rudd. Yes, that Kevin Rudd, hanging around as Australia's ambassador to the US. If Trump gets back in, do you really think he's going to tolerate Rudd? The bloke's been a disaster in every job he's ever had, and he's the last person who should be representing us to Trump's administration. Albanese should have booted him months ago, but of course, that would require having a spine. And speaking of Albanese, what a joke. The bloke's been playing cheap domestic politics over steel and aluminium tariffs, pretending to be some kind of economic warrior, when in reality, he's just using this to score points with his rusted-on base. He's picking fights where none need to exist, all to make himself look tougher than he actually is. And guess what? It's not working. Trump doesn't even pick up the phone for him. That's how low Australia ranks right now in Washington. And while we're on the topic of political gutlessness, why are the Liberals so afraid to take a stand? Even the hard-left British PM, Keir Starmer, is nicking ideas from Trump. Over in the UK, they've scrapped a chunk of NHS bureaucracy, even giving it the nickname Project Chainsaw. Can you believe it? A Labour leader in Britain has more guts to implement Conservative policies than the actual Conservative Party in Australia. So why can't the Libs get it together? Why isn't Dutton making a big, bold move? It all comes down to fear. They're afraid of what the media will say, afraid of offending the left-wing elites, and worst of all, afraid of their own voter base. They've got this ridiculous faction of moderates who keep dragging the party to the left, making them indistinguishable from Labour. This is exactly why the Liberals keep losing elections. The voters don't see a real alternative. They see a party that just wants to be a slightly less embarrassing version of the ALP. But people don't want less embarrassing. They want leadership. They want guts. They want a party that's not afraid to call out the rubbish policies that are dragging this country down. Let's not forget what happened with the voice referendum. The entire establishment was backing the Yes campaign, big corporations, celebrities, the media, sporting clubs, even the bloody banks. And yet, despite all that, the Australian people still said no. That's what happens when you actually listen to the voters instead of the elites. But the Liberals have already forgotten that lesson. They are running scared again. They don't realise that if they actually stood for something, they'd win. Instead, they're stuck in this cycle of playing it safe, trying to be liked, trying to appeal to people who are never going to vote for them. So here's the question. Will Peter Dutton wake up? Will he take the fight to Albanese? Will he embrace the Trump playbook that actually works, or will he keep playing it safe, hoping the media will throw him a bone? Because if he keeps going down this path, he might as well pack it in now. Australia needs real leadership. It needs a government that understands the global reality. And most of all, it needs politicians who aren't afraid to stand for something. Let us know what you reckon in the comments. Should Dutton stop running scared? Should he get on a plane to Washington and start building that relationship with Trump? And while you're at it, hit that like button, subscribe, and don't forget, our Albo Says Relax t-shirt is only $23 for the next 2 days. Get yours before it's gone. Catch YA in the next one.